Happy Wednesday. It has been a couple of weeks since I've vlogged. I have really not picked up the camera much. We've just been pretty busy. I'm doing a course this summer which demands a significant amount of my time and my brain power. So I had that, I still have that, but I'm working on that. We had our 2 housewarmings and there was lots of stuff that we were preparing for. So if you haven't seen my last video of all of the house projects we did, definitely go give that a check out. We did the gallery wall. I painted a couple accent walls. We got our Murphy bed up and I built an island extension. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, and I sewed some pillows. So if you don't already, I do have a home account that I am getting better at posting at, so I'll leave that right here for you. So you'll see more of those projects on there in the coming week or so. I just wanted to kind of chat. It's been a bit. And as I went to go film this, I went to pull out my pop-up desk and part of it decided to fall apart. So you're now resting on my rolling cart. So I've now taken most of it off the wall, but I don't feel like drilling and doing all that right now because I just sat down to do coursework, but I wanted to hop on real quick just to chat. And something else, I'm trying to think of like different reels. I overthink things like to the death, and then I just get paralysis and don't do them. So I'm trying to relax that, and I'm thinking of a couple of reels for the clothes that if you've been following since we moved, I purged my wardrobe a couple of months ago now, probably like 3 months ago now. And I had like literally a pile of like 120 pieces of clothing that I wanted to try on. It wasn't all destined to be donated, but it was kind of a let me try it on and see how it feels. Do I still feel happy in it? Do I still feel comfortable in it? Do I still like what it looks like on me? And whatnot. So there's a couple things that I have reached for in it over the last week or so, especially with like the really warm weather. And then some things that when I was sorting through yesterday, I was just like, oh yeah. So it's a whole mind game of the, do I think about it? Do I even remember that I have it? And I'm definitely an out of sight, out of mind person. I'm really bad with that. So I'm thinking about doing a couple of reels styling or just trying on the pieces. And I was thinking this morning, I have like a pants and skirts category, a tops category, and then like a one pieces, meaning like mostly dresses, but a couple of like bodysuits and things. And I realized that there's definitely some pants that are just not gonna fit. Because there are pants that I often kind of struggled with fitting when I first got them, kind of thing. I've worn a couple of them a couple of times and always kind of kept them as a, oh, when I tone up a little bit, when I lose a little bit of weight. And I'm really trying to get away from that mindset because recently I have gained a few pounds and I've always tried to keep the mindset that it's not the number. I don't like to play the numbers game, but the numbers game likes to play me. So I have a fancy scale. I have a Renfo scale. So if you're not familiar with them, they don't just do body weight. It has a whole bunch of different data on your body and I highly recommend it. It is really cool. I've been using it for a long time now. We've had it for a few years. I've been avoiding the scale for a bit because I like to keep the mindset of how am I feeling. And right now, I'm not feeling great. I am not liking the things that I always love to wear. I'm thinking so much more about how I look in them and how I don't feel comfortable in them. And I hate that feeling. But I have a really hard time. If you guys have been longtime followers, you've heard me say this before. I have a horrible time with routines. I can't get into them. But once I get into them, I'm great. It's just getting that habit built is something that I profusely struggle to do because I let my body, or I don't know if it's my mind win or my body win. I think it's maybe my body win. And I just won't do it. So I started a yoga challenge a few months ago and I did 5 days of it. Actually, I didn't even do all 5 days at once. I think I did 3 in a row, took a few days off, and then did a couple more days and then stopped. Meanwhile, I got my best friend hooked on it, and she did yoga every day for almost like 2.5 months. So that's pretty awesome, but I can't motivate myself. I've done maybe one workout since, tried to do 12-3-30, and I've never had an issue doing 12-3-30 no matter what, and I thought I was gonna die, and that's so unlike me. So I did 12-3-10 and then did some TRX and some weights. I really enjoy weights. I just can't get my headspace into the going and working out. But I'll have moments where I go down to the basement and I'm like, oh, let me just do a couple things, but it's not like a full-blown workout. So we're trying to get into doing walks. Scott's been amazing with going for bike rides. He's actually up to like a 13K bike ride. You couldn't pay me enough money in the world to do that. It's not my thing. But yeah, I'm struggling, and I know that I can do better and be better, but I'm not helping myself. And I wouldn't even say our diet's not that bad. I don't drink that much personally, so it's literally just like that. If I add in some exercise, I will do better. So if you are somebody who struggles like me, or if you're somebody who is the opposite of me and is able to really produce routines and stuff like that, I'd love to know some of your secrets. I'd love to know some of the ways that you motivate yourself, especially when you like do not want to do it. I am not really a morning workout kind of gal. I kind of prefer the afternoon or the evening, but obviously in the summer it's cooler if you're gonna go for a walk in the morning than in the evening. But I don't know. I'm really good at finding excuses. I could have a PhD in excuse making. So I need to try and change my mindset and just like do what I can. I think I'm so all or nothing with this kind of thing that when I can't give it my all or do my all, I just get pissed off and I just stop. So I'm trying to get over the mentality of an all or nothing. Something is better than nothing. Progress over perfection. So yeah, that's kind of where my mind's at. It's been like weighing on me recently, and yeah, and then just seeing a number I haven't seen for a really long time and only saw like once before is a little bit jarring. Let's put it that way, a little bit jarring. So anyways, I'm going to go do some coursework, and maybe it'll motivate me to do a workout or something later, go for a walk at the very least. And I will catch up with you guys in a bit. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. It's been a couple days since I picked up the vlog. This week's been a bit of a challenge. After the initial sit down with you guys, kind of threw myself into a not so great space mentally. And it was a challenge this past few days. It's been hard. And so I'm gonna tag a couple of videos, 1 or 2 videos that I have on my channel that talk about body image and things along that nature. But recently it's been a little bit hard for me. Yeah, I'm a little bit in a state with that, and I had some kind of paralysis with moving forward with a plan to fix that. It is basically ADHD paralysis. I'm not officially diagnosed. I'm in the process of getting that done. I just can't at the moment. There's a really great comic of a guy on a couch surrounded by all the things that he wants to do, and then in his head everyone's like, oh, he's lazy or whatnot, and he's just like, all he can think about is trying to do those things, but he's just paralyzed and can't actually do it. So I'm kind of in that spot at the moment, and I've acknowledged it, and I'm trying to get past it. I just don't do that part very well. So I need to get back into any kind of movement, because I am a very much all or nothing kind of person, which makes this even harder, because if I can't get into doing something and I can't set that routine and continue to do something actively, then I fall off the bandwagon, and then I get really frustrated. I wanted to do some filming with the donate or keep piles that I made. And the other day I was like, okay, I'll do the bottoms. And so I kind of looked at them, I put the first pair on and went, I don't think I can film this, because some of them just don't fit, or I can get them done up, but they are not flattering whatsoever. So then I was like, oh, well, like I don't want to share that. Like I don't want to put myself in a position where I feel gross. I don't want to put a video up where I don't feel my best. I don't feel happy with the way that I look. So decided probably won't end up filming it. I'll find some other way of kind of sharing what I've kept. But there's a couple pairs of pants that still fit and still look good, or even still too big because they were like too big in the beginning, and I'd like kind of belt them to give me the look that I wanted. So I'm happy about that. One of my favorite pairs of skinny jeans, which are always a pair that like if I was fluctuating, I would fluctuate in and out of being able to wear. So I got them on, but because they're a low rise, they just, and I'm like, you know what? Part of me is like, oh, just keep them. I'll fit back into them. And there are some pieces that I want to keep that I've always kind of struggled with fitting in comfortably, that I'm like, okay, maybe I'll keep a couple pieces of those so that I can, I don't know, see my progress in like subtle ways. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about that. But I realized there's a couple pairs of jeans that I just don't need to keep because looking at them makes me annoyed. So as much as I would love to fit into them again, they're gonna be good for somebody else, not me. So that's where that went. Sorry, ran out of space on my SD card. Basically, I need to make a change, and I need to get my head around small bits are better than nothing. So last night at like, I don't know, 10:30, I'm like listening to a podcast on my computer, and I laid on my floor and did some crunches and some ab stuff. Not like a workout by any means, but I did something. And I'm like, okay, that's something. Well, let's get back into the treadmill. Let's get back. I love weights. I love doing weights. I don't do them very often, but I do enjoy doing them. So I'm like, let's just start where we are and build it from there. And that is like my little health and fitness update. trying to have a more positive outlook, and right now that's not there. But digressing completely from that, I wanted to share, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this recently, but I'm working on a cross stitch, which is actually a little bit larger than I thought it was going to be, so I'm going to have to go buy a different hoop size. But this is the progress that I've made. It's a giant ampersand where you put your last name in, and then there's like your wedding date. So that's in my little creative outlet the last few days. We're going to work on finalizing the Murphy bed. We just brought the end cabinet piece in. And then later on, Scott is driving his dad to the airport because he has to go away for work for a few weeks. Yeah, so it's gonna be a home weekend, which is really nice. We have no plans for anything. We're gonna do a date night tonight because we haven't really spent a lot of time together this week. So we're gonna watch, I think, the new Transformers movie, and then just snuggle up on the couch. I'm almost done my course. I think I've got less than 10 days. It'll be really good. And then once that's over with, then I feel like I'll have a couple of weeks of like fully enjoying summer before getting ready to go back to work in a whole new realm. Good morning, everyone. This has been probably a very slow vlog. It's been a few days since I've picked up the camera. I've just kind of been focused on getting my course done. Yesterday was like, it was a desk day almost all day. So I started going through all of the clothes the other day, which I think I mentioned in the last clip. Maybe that I was starting, but I got through the pants, then I did the dresses and any like bodysuits, like one piece type of items. There's a few that I am donating that have always been kind of like goal dresses, or ones that I used to feel comfortable in, then I started kind of like feeling a little less comfortable and kind of like pushing it aside and be like, oh, I'm like, I'll fit back in it soon. And I fit in it, don't get me wrong. This particular dress, actually, I will show you. This particular dress, it's just a little like, I guess maybe fit and flare kind of thing from Old Navy, and it has a little belt. It's a very cute dress, but the way that the waist seam hits on me, and then just the way that it kind of clings to the body, I started feeling very aware of my body and not liking it, and kind of like, oh, pushing away. But it's officially being donated. But there is one dress that I wore for my birthday. I think it was like my 21st, maybe my 21st or 22nd birthday. Anyways, it was a bodycon bandage dress, and for whatever reason I have told myself that I'm gonna fit in it by Christmas. I don't know the last time I wore it. My birthday, I think, was the last time I wore it, because it's not something that, you know, you wore all the time. And for whatever reason, that's kind of the challenge I'm giving myself. Yeah, and I'm not gonna be mad if it doesn't work out. I'm probably gonna just end up keeping the material anyways. I digress, but I have kept a couple things to try and get into, but I am really just putting stuff on, going, do I feel comfortable? No. Now I do have a maybe pile, and some of the maybes are things that fit, but I don't really reach for much. So I might do, I don't know, I might kind of put them aside and see if I gravitate towards them. And if I don't, they're gone. But I have some yeses, and I have some outfits that can't be saved or they can't be sold because there's a hole in them or something like that. So I'm gonna keep them for material just to kind of muck about with. But I do have a hamper of tops to finish, because the other day when I was doing it, I don't know about you guys, but this happens to me even at the mall. If I'm trying a lot of clothes on, I get so warm. So the other day, like trying to change tops constantly, I got so hot that I said, we're done. And I left it alone. But I am gonna finish that today, because we are heading to the cottage and today's upload day, so I'm trying to get all this done, edited and uploaded before we leave. We're actually gonna go up for the rest of the week. Scott took some holiday. We're gonna hang out with my mother-in-law and 2 out of my 3 sisters-in-law, because the other one's still out in BC. But it's going to be a really nice week. Just enjoy some chill time.